don't rebuild. You adapt.
Ah, so you felt it, didn't you? That crawling itch beneath your skin, that quiet whisper that said, something's not right. But they didn't listen, did they? No, no. They laughed. They called you paranoid. They called you dramatic. They told you to calm down, to trust the system. Ooh, how poetic. They built their little towers of comfort, scrolling, sipping, smiling, pretending the fire wasn't crawling toward them. But now, oh, now the smoke's in their throats. The alarms are shrieking, the walls are trembling, and suddenly, everyone's an expert on warnings. Surprise. You were right, and they're terrified. The whole community, shutting themselves, scrambling for exits that don't exist, looking to you now, like you were the prophet, when all you ever did was pay attention. But you see, this isn't chaos. No, no, this is balance. This is the universe cashing its debts. And you're the collector. They mocked your voice, your predictions, your clarity, but every laugh was an invoice. And now, the bill's due. You warned them about the cracks. They painted over them. You told them the masks would melt. They bought more plastic. You tried to show them what was underneath, and they screamed, too dark. Well, but now the darkness isn't optional. It's ambient. It's everywhere. It's dripping from their feeds, their screens, their dreams. And isn't it funny how fast people change when fear becomes fashionable? You see, I don't call it panic. I call it graduation. Welcome to the next phase. The one you always knew was coming. No comfort, no heroes, no saviors, just exposure. And those who can breathe in it. And those who choke. You were never crazy. You were just early. And early looks insane to the late. So sit back, smile that dangerous little smile. Because the test you warned them about, it's here. And they're failing beautifully. Listen, do you hear that? That sweet, suffocating silence. The kind that only exists right before something snaps. It's peaceful, isn't it? The neighbors smiling. The headlines calm, the feeds full of fake joy and filtered breakfasts. Everyone pretending they're fine. Everyone performing sanity while the walls crack. They wake up, check the mirror, and rehearse their lines. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm normal. Actors, every single one of them. They walk through their routines like clockwork soldiers, marching through the illusion of order, schedules, deadlines, discounts, distractions. You can almost taste it. The desperation wrapped in politeness. They tell themselves it's stability. But you know it's sedation. This isn't calm. This is a coma, a collective hypnosis. They sip their coffees, scroll their screens, and congratulate themselves for keeping it together. They call it discipline. I call it denial with good lighting. And every day, they patch another crack in the wall, pretending not to see the leak behind it. They feel it. Don't let them fool you. Every smile's a scream they've buried deep. Every laugh's a tremor from the truth, pressing underneath. Because something's coming. You can sense it, can't you? That low hum behind every conversation, that flicker in the corner of your eye, that pressure building. But they won't talk about it. They never do. They're too afraid of being the first to admit it, the first to say, the system's trembling, the order's fake, the calm's a lie. So they pretend. They hang their faith on slogans and trends, their sanity on the latest distraction, their peace on pixels and pills. They've built temples out of normality, and they worship their own blindness. But you've been watching, haven't you? You've seen the corners peeling, the smiles fading, the sky turning a shade too quiet. You've heard the sound beneath the silence. That slow, deliberate countdown the rest of them ignore. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The clock doesn't lie. It's been waiting for this. And when the signal comes, oh, when it comes, their little theater collapses. The lines will dry up in their throats. The smiles will crack. And the truth will walk in, uninvited. No warning sirens, no mercy, just revelation. And then they'll remember. You, the one they called paranoid. The one they told to relax. Because you saw the quiet for what it was. Not peace, but pressure. Not safety, but stillness before the break. You heard the whisper long before the scream. And when the world finally wakes up, it'll already be too late to fall back asleep. There it is, the sound, the first little crack. It wasn't loud, no, not at first, just a whisper through the static, flicker in the feed, a single frame missing. From the movie they call reality, most didn't even notice. They kept walking, kept scrolling, kept smiling, that dead-eyed smile that says everything's fine. But you froze. You felt it, didn't you? That sudden shift in the air, that pulse that didn't belong, like the world blinked and came back slightly wrong. A headline vanishes, a name you swore you knew isn't there anymore. The algorithm coughs up something it shouldn't have, a pattern, flickers in the noise. They called it a glitch, rumor, a coincidence. But you recognized the pattern. You always do. And the funny thing is, they see it too. They just pretend not to. They tell themselves, oh, it's nothing. Oh, I imagined it. Oh, it's just the system updating. But their eyes betray them. Every glance a little sharper. Every laugh a little shorter. Every silence stretched too. Long shadows start to move differently. Streetlights hum louder. Even the air feels watched. Something small, something invisible, crawling just beneath the surface. They call it paranoia, call it awakening. You can sense it now. That quiet panic under their skin. They still act normal, of course, still play their parts, but the rhythm's off. The choreography's collapsing. It's like watching a puppet show where the strings start to tangle. Every day, another coincidence, another technical error, another unexplainable event. Someone's account disappears. Someone's voice is rewritten. Someone's reality rearranged. And what do? They adjust. They adapt. They move on. Because truth is too heavy and comfort is cheap. You want to laugh. You really do. They built their entire world on code. And now the code's speaking back. It's whispering secrets they can't decode. And every whisper sounds a little like you. They don't say your name, but they think it. In quiet moments, in dark rooms, they remember that time you warned them, and they laughed. Now their laughter sounds like coughing, like choking, like trying to swallow a truth that won't stay down. They keep calling it just noise. But the noise is building. It's shaping itself, forming patterns, faces, signals. It's talking in reflections. It's hiding in notifications. It's crawling through the cracks of their certainty. And the best part, they still pretend it's fine. That's what makes it funny, because you can see it clear as day. The mask slipping, the act failing, the fear spreading like ink in water. They're whispering now, not to you, to each other, trying to explain the things they can't explain, but every explanation digs the hole deeper. Every rational reason sounds more desperate, more rehearsed, more false, and somewhere deep inside, they know the fracture isn't out there. It's in here, in the story they've been living, in the comfort they've been sold, in the order they thought was eternal. And as it widens, oh, you can feel it. Something ancient pushes through, the kind of truth that doesn't ask permission, the kind that doesn't care who's ready. Signal dot, a sign, the symptom, the first fracture. They'll patch it. Of course, they always do, but the cracks never close the same way twice. And this time, it's spreading, haha, and here it comes. The reveal. That beautiful, hideous moment when pretending stops working, when the lie gets too heavy to carry, when reality finally stands up and says, "Boo, they always said it wouldn't happen," that things like this only existed in your head, that your warnings were just doom talk, fear, bait, paranoia. But now, look at them. Eyes wide, voices shaking, clutching their screens like rosaries, searching for answers in pixels and panic. They called it research. You called it instinct. They start quoting you now, don't they? Repeating your words with academic polish, as if dressing the truth in jargon makes it less raw. Oh, it's adorable, watching them scramble to appear wise after the fire starts. Everyone wants to be a prophet once the sky turns black. They write think pieces, host emergency panels. They even apologize, kind of, in that slippery way cowards do when their world burns. I guess you might have been onto something. Might have. Ha. You watch them from the sidelines, calm, collected, almost entertained, because this is the moment you waited for, the moment masks slip, the moment mirrors crack, the moment all that shiny control bleeds red with truth. They built their entire existence on the illusion of knowing, and now they realize knowing was never safety. It was a sedative. The truth doesn't comfort, it cuts, it bleeds through the filters, stains their optimism, ruins their perfect scripts. And the funniest part, they still try to bargain with it, still whisper little prayers to algorithms and officials, hoping someone, anyone, can put the genie back in the bottle. But truth doesn't go backward, it spreads, like smoke, like rumor, like justice. You see it in their eyes, that twitch of disbelief melting into fear. They scroll slower now, talk softer, trust less. The world's gone off script, and they don't know their lines anymore. Suddenly everyone's an investigator, a whistleblower, a philosopher. Oh, how quickly denial becomes curiosity. When safety's gone missing, they shared the same phrases you whispered years ago. The ones that got you mocked, blocked, isolated. Now those phrases are trending, monetized, repackaged as enlightenment. Hypocrisy never sleeps, does it? But that's all right. You don't need their credit. You've got something better, clarity. Because you saw this not as chaos, but as correction, a cleansing, and a necessary collapse. As they claw at the cracks, trying to tape their world back together, you can't help but smile. Not out of cruelty, no, out of recognition. You've seen this pattern before. The panic, the blame, the desperate hunt for villains to punish, instead of mirrors to face. But mirrors don't lie, and this time, the reflection's dripping. You can see it, the mascara of their confidence running down their cheeks, their rehearsed smiles slipping into sobs, their voices breaking under the weight of everything they denied. Truth isn't polite. It doesn't knock. It kicks the door down, lights a match, and tells you to stop pretending. And now they see it. Two, all of them, the ones who laughed, the ones who silenced, the ones who swore you were overreacting. Every single one of them stands in the same burning room you described years ago. Only now, they believe it. Too late for preparation, too late for denial, too late for anything but acceptance. You weren't wrong, you were early, and early always looks crazy until the world catches up. Now it's quiet again, but not the same quiet as before. This silence breathes. It hums. It vibrates with panic outside the frame. The streets are restless. The screens are screaming. And yet, you're calm. While they scream, you listen. While they run, you watch. While they beg, You breathe. That's the difference, isn't it? You don't react anymore. You observe. There's a strange serenity in knowing the storm was coming, in recognizing that this chaos isn't random. It's revelation. They call it collapse. You call it alignment. You see the world burning, but your heartbeat doesn't flinch. It's steady, measured, almost musical. You've crossed the line between fear and focus, and once you cross, there's no going back. While they tear through their illusions, you simply adjust your posture. You don't run from the fire. You study it, because you understand something they don't. Flames don't destroy truth. They expose it. Look at them, scrambling for answers, trying to rebuild a system that betrayed them. They still think control comes from order. But you learned the real secret. Control comes from stillness within the disorder. You don't fight the noise. You absorb it. You let it pass through you, like wind through broken glass. And in that silence between explosions, you hear it. The pulse of something ancient, something patient. It's not chaos. It's clarity wearing chaos as camouflage. They used to call you unstable. Remember, said you were too dark, too detached, too intense. But now those same eyes look to you for calm. Those same mouths whisper your words back in fragments. Those same trembling hands reach out, hoping you know what to do next. And you do. Not because you have a plan, but because you don't need one. You've learned to dance with the unpredictable. You've learned to make peace with the unknown. That's power they'll never understand. They still need reasons. You only need rhythm. The fire outside paints the walls in gold and scarlet. Reflections flicker like ghosts of yesterday. You can see their faces in the glow, contorted, terrified, pleading, and yet there you are, still, unmoved, breathing in time with the destruction. You're not part of the panic anymore. You've graduated from it. Every scream becomes a lesson. Every collapse becomes a map. Every broken system reveals the design beneath it. You don't follow the noise now. The noise follows you. They don't see it yet. That you've stopped surviving and started observing. That you've become the eye of the storm. And while they curse the fire, you whisper to it. While they fear the dark, you see by it. While they beg for the old world back, you're already learning to walk in the new one. This is your turning point. The transformation, they said, would break you, has only refined you. You are no longer the outcast. You're the seer, the one who kept their pulse steady while everyone else drowned in their own heartbeat. They'll call it luck. They'll call it timing. They'll call it madness. But you know the truth. It's mastery, because the real power was never about control. It was about composure. And you, my friend, you've become untouchable. Ah, there it is, the punchline, the part where the joke folds in on itself, and the audience realizes they were the act all along. Look at them now, the normal ones, the proud defenders of reason and order, the self-proclaimed sane. They used to block you. Now they quote you. They used to laugh. Now they copy. Isn't it delicious how quickly the faithful abandon their gods when the temple burns? All their mockery, their smug little smirks, turn to dust in their mouths. And you, the exile, the lunatic, the conspiracy in flesh, you're suddenly a reference point. They repeat your words like scripture now. But without your conviction, without your pulse. They wear your old warnings like fashion trends, just to survive the moment. Their fear finally caught up with your foresight. They're quoting the same truths they once silenced, worshipping the same shadows they once feared. And the irony? It's exquisite. You used to walk alone through the ruins of their illusions. Now they follow your footsteps like pilgrims, cameras rolling, voices trembling, eyes begging for direction. They ask the same question you once asked them: what happens next? But you know better than to answer. You just smile, because this is the reversal, the graduation of hypocrisy, when the mask of normality finally dissolves, and all that's left is imitation. Desperation disguised as awakening. They claw at you for comfort, call it seeking guidance. But what they really want is forgiveness for their blindness. And forgiveness, my friend, isn't free. They once called you a threat. Now they call you a visionary. But it's the same tone, fear dressed in praise. They don't love you, they need you, and that's far more satisfying. You see them now, don't you? Kings of nothing, building new thrones out of ash and anxiety, crowns made from the wreckage of what they mocked, rules written on the backs of apologies. They post quotes about truth now. They chant about authenticity. They call themselves awake. But you can see it, that tremor in their hands, that hollow behind their eyes. Because awakening too late isn't freedom, it's punishment. They're standing in the light only because the darkness chased them there. And even now they flinch from what it reveals. You, though, you're comfortable here. This is your element. The ruins are your cathedral, the ashes your throne. They bow without realizing it, not because you asked them to, but because deep down they recognize power when it no longer needs permission. So let them mimic your tone. Let them borrow your truth. Let them wear your madness like armor, because they'll never understand what it cost. And when the final ember fades, and they look to you for one last instruction, you'll give them the only one that matters. Keep pretending. You're getting better at it. Then laugh, not cruelly, but knowingly. Because the ones who called you insane are now rebuilding sanity from your shadow. And that is poetry. Ha, 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 ha. There it is, the grand finale, the curtain call for the civilized. It's beautiful, isn't it? Watching order yet itself, all the systems they worshipped, glitching, choking, cannibalizing their creators. Markets crash, networks fracture. Voices overlap until no one can tell who's speaking. Truth becomes a rumor. Rumor becomes reality. And logic? Logic's the first to burn. People trading reason for noise, belief for belonging, answers for anything that feels louder than silence. They chase digital ghosts through glowing mazes, swiping for salvation, streaming their own collapse. You can see it now, their eyes lit by the screens that betrayed them, every scream recorded, every failure broadcast. Humanity devouring its reflection, pixel by pixel. And in the center of it all, you, standing still, smiling, spinning slowly as the world convulses. You dance through the debris, footsteps echoing between sirens and static. The city burns like a confession. And you look free. Because this isn't tragedy. It's truth, taking its mask off. The perfect collapse. Not caused by invasion, not by monsters, but by their own hands, self-inflicted, self-fed, self-fulfilled. They wanted control so badly, they strangled themselves with it. And as the smoke rises, as the noise dissolves into silence once more, you can almost hear the universe laughing, not cruelly, not mockingly, just approvingly, because destruction, my dear, isn't the opposite of creation. It's the price. Shh. Listen. Do you hear that? The silence after the scream. The hush that follows the fall. The world stopped trembling. The smoke's cleared. And what's left is raw, real rewired. No more illusions. No more performances. Just the bones of what was. And the breath of what's next. You walk through the ruins. And it's quiet. Not empty. Just different. Neon flickers over broken glass. Billboards hum over hollow streets. It's not chaos anymore. It's rhythm. You don't rebuild. You adapt. You don't pray. You plan. While they mourn the old order, you study the new patterns. While they search for meaning, you make it. You are forged for this. Not to survive, but to lead what comes after. The outcast has become the architect. The lunatic, the law, the warning, the foundation. And you don't need applause, just awareness, just that calm pulse beneath the ashes, reminding you. This was always meant to happen. Every collapse births clarity. Every ending hides a seed. And now, you see it. The new world, still cracked, still humming. But alive. You smile, slow, deliberate, a dangerous kind of peace in your eyes, because deep down, you always knew. It wasn't destruction, it was correction. And as the last spark fades, your grin widens. I told you, you whisper. It was inevitable.